It's time for the movie rating. Tonight's victim is actor Reginald Ballard, known as Bro Man from The Martin Show, has played in The Bernie Mac Show, has played in Menace 2, and countless others. Hello!
What's up? Man, I do it all, man. I do it all. I be on stage sometime, man. I take my clothes off and set myself on fire, man. I do it all, bro.
And that's probably why you never were invited to Woodstock.
Woodstock way so got time, man. They still do Woodstock now. That's back in the 60s, man.
Well, so what's going on, man? Tell us a little bit more about this comedy show. What's going on? What's it called? Are you hitting the States for the most part? Are you hitting,
Yeah, man, matter of fact, I just got back showing St. Thomas, man, about 2 weeks ago. My next stop, I'm in Shreveport, Louisiana, man, on the 1st and 2nd of March. And then I'm doing Atlanta on the 14th, so I'm all over, man. I'm all over doing that. Just got filming a new TV show on Netflix called Family Reunion, and it got my childhood hero in it, man, Richard Roundtree, Shaft. I got to work with Shaft when I went to the set. I wore my Shaft shirt, man. Told him I was a big fan, man. It was cool working with him and Loretta Devine and Thelma Hopkins, man. It was a ball, man. So, I've been, still been trying to feed the kids because they think they're supposed to eat every day. I'm like, boy, just ate Wednesday, here it is Saturday. You want to eat again?
Tell us a little bit more about what's going on with this show. That has this just finished up wrapping, or was this that just came out this year?
Like I did one episode of that show. It haven't aired yet, but it's a new show. It's called Family Reunion. Tia Mowry is the lead actress in it. Like I say, Richard Roundtree, and it's a funny show. It's a sitcom, Netflix, man. I had fun. I had a ball on the show, man. I mean, I hopefully he had me back over there because it was funny. The episode I did, I worked with a couple of kids on the show, man. We rocked it, man. It was real good, man.
Very nice. Now, when you do your comedy shows, I mean, cross between the television comedy series and your comedy, do you use that as to support you on the tour, or do you use it to just try to coincide with each other?
It's like I do a lot of spot dates, man. I'm working almost every weekend, man. I'm different cities, and I've been to 15, 16 different countries, and all over this country, man, about 10 times. So I talk about a lot of wife and kids stuff. Just make people laugh, man. I mean, I love doing what I do, man. So it's like you say, you love doing what you do. You never work a day in your life, man. So that's me right now. I love entertaining, man. I love performing. I love making people laugh. I mean, I majored in theater in college, man. I went to Southern Methodist University, man. I was there when we got known as the death penalty, man. If you ever watch ESPN 30 for 30, they have that different stuff that happened in voice history, and SMU was one of the schools that we was the first school and the only school that got hit with the death penalty. I mean, they took our football program for illegal recruiting violations because they said that the school was paying players to play and stuff. They had a big 2-hour thing on 30 for 30 on ESPN about our football program.
But when it comes to the networks, when you're on television, do you think the networks taking more from the actors than rather giving back to them?
I mean, when you're on the show, man, I mean, if you're a regular on the show, if you're the star of the show, I mean, you get paid in a week more than some people get paid in the whole year. So, I can't say the network is taken away because they very generous with the money, if you could get it. I think I've worked on every network there is, man, even some outside networks like Real TV. I did some stuff on that network, and BET, stuff like that, man. I did a lot of stuff. Like I say, I got paid handsomely. I can't complain about they taking away, so.
Yeah, it can be difficult though. I mean, like if they like you enough, then of course you'll get a decent amount of money to pay, or at least mildly enough. Because sometimes, depending on the show, and of course depending on the network, if they actually like the show or not, I mean, you could easily make or break.
Right, yeah. That's sometimes it's like that, man. But the majority of the times, the thing about it is, man, if you love what you're doing, man, I mean, the money gonna be there. I mean, you ain't really stressing over that because, like I say, man, you gonna get paid well working. That's why we got union. The Screen Actors Guild, they take care of you. When you're not working, you're eating, man. So the cool thing. So I'm happy with what I do, man. When I can get the gigs, if not, I'm on the road doing my comedy, man, making people laugh. And other than that, I'm at the crib. I'm not a party guy. I don't go to clubs all the time. So I'm always at the house. I love watching westerns and Sanford and Son. I'm old school, man. I love Red Fox, man. Funny because people come to me talking about Martin
But the craziest thing is, like, with these comedy shows, like Martin, like Jimmy Fox, like all the Sanford and Son, all these types of comedy shows, it took so long before they could actually get recognized in terms of popularity. It's like it was just a show. It wasn't really as marketed or wasn't as popular as it was as it is now. Now everybody knows what it is. Now it's on DVD box sets. Now it's on streamed on Netflix. All this stuff.
Yeah, it's all on BT. It's on MTV. It's on a whole lot of different things, man.
Do you think these shows have much impact on today's culture than the actual new shows that we have now?
The shows that we had back in the day?
Yes.
I think we had more substance back in the day, man. I think we had more substance than the shows that they got right now. The shows that they got right now, I don't really watch a lot of them, man. The shows I got stuck watching was Power and The Shy, and now this new thing on BT, man, about Soul Train, man, American Soul. I've been watching that lately, but our shows back in the day, when I did TV, man, it was a lot funnier, man. It was that, and I'm not bragging or nothing about it, but it was a lot funnier, man. It was telling me that they loved the shows that we created when I was doing TV than they have now. So that's like, I'm flattered because of that.
Yeah, well, today's shows, though, I mean, like, it's on the fence type deal compared to what it used to be, because it used to be, like, taking a risk. Like, it usually just to be, like, a free-for-all. I mean, you had, like, Saturday Night Live, the original cast. You had all these other ones are just going out to let loose, just having a nice, awesome comedy sketch. And then today, everything is so restricted. Everything's so limited because of the content.
Right. You can't do a lot of stuff. Like, man, everything's so politically correct, man. You make one wrong move, the next thing you know, man, you get blackballed, you know what I'm saying?
You get a little too close to home, but, isn't that the point?
Yeah, exactly. That's the point. I don't know how old you are, man, but I know back in the day you remember the Richard Pryor show? Man, that show, groundbreaking, man, and they didn't stay on long because, Richard, felt like he had shackles on, man. Now, they use profanity on television now, man. Like, it's nothing. It's amazing that they do that, don't get in trouble, but some upon a particular, sexual orientation or race or something like that, man, you're doing it, in fun. Like, you can't make fun of certain people, but you can make fun of other people, but you can't make fun of some people, and then, you get in trouble for that.
Yeah, it's almost like you're taking part of the freedom of speech away, because, I mean, you compare to all these other shows in the past, and you compare to the shows that we're continuing to generate now, you see they're only fixated on one specific topic, one area that is kind of like, oh, okay, well, you can get away with this, but everything else, no. Everyone's going to talk about it on Twitter, everyone's going to talk about it on these other social medias, and one little thing, as you said, can get you, lose your career within just that one thing that you said on Twitter, that one thing you said on something else on social media, and that's the terrible thing in society. I think everybody's being too sensitive over everything now.
Freedom of speech is not really free, huh? There are consequences come with everything you say, man. Everything you say, you're going to get judged on that and rated on that. So I guess freedom of speech is really not free. You can't just say what you want to say nowadays, man, because everybody's so sensitive. That's why I keep it family. I talk about wife, kids, they can be mad at me all day. Ain't no big deal, so I'm not talking about other people, man. Like when I do my comedy, when I'm messing with people in the audience sometimes, I bring them into the show in a fun way. I don't grade them or nothing like that, man. Some comics, degrade them, but I feel like them and pay their money, come get talked about, you know what I'm saying? But when I do, I try to bring them in and, make a fun atmosphere and a relaxing atmosphere so that they laugh at themselves, man. We laugh, when you can laugh at yourself, man, I mean, that's life, man, because we do funny things in life, man.
It's amazing that when it's on stage, it seems like you can get away with, like, a mid-level size of things, but then when it comes to a TV show, when you're trying to do a sketch comedy or anything related to networks, are going to heavily breathe down your neck, and it cannot be, as funny anymore, and you're just work, and you can't even extenuate yourself as a comedian doing that because you're so worried what's going to happen to your career, your reputation, and who you are.
That's why I like doing comedy, man, because you can get away with a whole lot more on stage than you can doing a TV show. So that's why when I do my comedy, man, I just let go and flow, man. I just let it flow, and whatever comes to my head sometimes, I'm able to get it out to the audience and let them know why I think it's funny. And, they laugh or they don't laugh. You up there by yourself is different than working with an ensemble. Like when you're on TV shows, an ensemble. So you got to work off one another. staged, and we can go in that box.
Television portion of things, when it comes to this portion of it, do you think it actually hurts the actor in terms of what their next work's going to be if they decide to continue to the comedy route in sitcoms and sketch type shows?
Nah, it don't really hurt them, man. I mean, like I say, when you have writers that write for you, and you have a ensemble that's around you, just fit in. What the show is about. You make people laugh in that time and within that box. You kind of restricted because you're not doing your own material. You have to put somebody else's material out front, and when you do that, is an art to that, man. It's not easy. A lot of people think it's easy. It's not easy creating a character, making it funny, and especially when you're a comedian, you have your own characters that you do on stage. But when you doing somebody else's material that they write for you on television, it's a whole nother animal, man. And a lot of comics can't make that transition from stand-up to comedy actor.
How do you feel having to do that when it comes to film, though? I mean, you think you get a little bit more away with on certain aspects, I think?
Well, film, yeah, it's a lot different. It's like, when you do film TV, it's almost the same. It's like, if you mess up, you got to go back, do it again, and, you get chances. Now, stage, that's something different. TV and film, pretty much the same. Stage is different because you can't mess up. You mess up on stage, man, you can't go back and do it again. It's not right. It don't look right. You know what I'm saying? Hold on, let me do this again, audience. No, when you do stage plays and stuff like that, man, that's when your chops is right, man. It's like when Rock be on television. They used to do it live sometimes, and those were like seasoned actors, man. They came from theater, you know what I mean? And they were able to just keep flowing. Sometimes you have to improvise. In TV and film, there's not much improvise going on because, like you say, if you mess up, they can say cut, redo the whole thing. I love doing stage plays, man. But when you do TV and film, you feel relaxed because you got a safety net. So it's like, okay, if I don't get this take right now, we have to do another take because it's not really film no more. They do everything digital now, so it's not like you're wasting film and wasting money. Now you're just wasting time. Back in the day, wasting film and time is a lot different than it was back in the day, man.
You think there's no room for trial and error between film, television, and as well as the stage?
Well, there's no room for trial and error on stage, but on film and TV, yeah, man, you can mess up all day, man. I mean, you eventually, unless they get tired of professional actors will get tired of you messing up now, because they're like, yo, man, we got things to do. We want to move on to the next scene, But stage, man, you can't mess up on stage, bro. You mess up on stage, man, you're gonna look real foolish and stupid. But you have to know if you mess up on stage, you have to what we call catching. It's like another actor catch. If you mess up, it's like when you do a drill in theater, man. It's like when you stand up and somebody behind you, and then you fall and they catch you. So you have to have trust in your actors that if you do mess up on stage, that they'll be able to catch you. They'll be able to, trigger what you're supposed to say and work the scene out without the audience even knowing that you missed your line or that you messed up on the scene, because you got professional actors that know how to get you right back to that point that you're supposed to be at. Work with trained actors, man. It's not much messing up that the audience can tell.
How do you put yourself ahead and actually blend in with everybody else without it making, like having an awkward balance of things that might not work in terms of acting wise?
Remember when we did an episode of Bernie Mac show, and Sugar Shane Mosley was on the show, and he's a boxer, and so they wrote the character for Sugar Shane Mosley. Sugar Shane Mosley was supposed to play himself, and he had such a hard time of playing himself that one of the actors, man, one of my best friends out here, he was like, Shane, man, he say, man, he say, it's you, man, you playing yourself. And Shane kept saying, the line was, where you guys staying at the Mandalay Bay? And that's all he had to say. And he was like, where you guys staying at the Mandalay Bay? So one actor got frustrated, man. He said, yo, man, say, Shane, you're doing yourself, man. Just let it come out natural, man. So sometimes actors do get upset when you're working with a professional that's supposed to be professional. They don't have their craft down, man. It's like time, man. Time and money, man. It's like, come on, get it right, man, because we got, stuff to do. We want to move to the next scene in the next episode. So, that's kind of strange when you have to put yourself in a situation where, somebody don't know what they're doing, man. You can really tell it get real frustrated, man. And then, that's why you have to make sure that you know what you're doing, because line. It's like back in the day, you had that dream when you you've not been to school in a long time. You have to take a test and you don't know what's going on. But now I got that same dream about going to the set and not knowing my lines, man. That's that nightmare I have every now and then. I have that same dream.
On the part itself, even though you know your lines, you know what the character is, but you don't get that same vibe from everybody else when they're from a different background, and it can be treacherous for you. I mean, you almost kind of have to look out for yourself.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. That's why I say, man, you got to catch an actor, man. You got, if they mess up, man, you have to know how to catch them. If they say, like, if the line is like, "Good morning, how are you today?" And I'm supposed to say, "I'm fine, how are you?" But if they come out and say, "Good afternoon, what's up?" And you can't say, "I'm fine, how are you?" Because you got to catch them and say, "Oh, man, ain't nothing up this chilling." So at least you in that same topic and subject, So that's what I mean by catching somebody. So it's like if you program just to go off just with the script state, and you program, a lot of times you sound like a robot when you got the lines in your head, man. I was taught in theater, man, never memorize lines. Always learn them. Difference between memorizing and learning. When you memorize, you sound like a robot, like, "How are you today?" Because you had it in your head. But when you learn them, you make them yourself. You're like, "Yo, Miss, how you doing today?" It's become you, who you are. It's like the character that you create. That difference between a person professional and an amateur. An amateur says, you're supposed to say, "Hey, how you doing today?" And the amateur says, "I'm doing all right." But you come in and say, "Yo, what's up, man?" And the amateur like, "I'm all right today." That's what an amateur would do instead of saying, "Yo, what's up with you?" or something like that. And then you get back to what you're supposed to say because you're still working off of each other. That's the difference, man.
Well, go ahead and plug in anything that you'd like to promote, any websites, any gigs. Like, tell us when all these gig gigs are happening, or anything that's going to be on DVD and so forth.
Yeah, well, like I said, I'm going to be in first and second in Shreveport, Louisiana. Look out for that. I'm going to be at the Comedy Theater in Atlanta on March 14th through the 17th. In Corpus Christi on March 30th. Corpus Christi, Texas, and listen to the radio, man. You'll find out that I'm on Facebook, man, Reginald Ballard, and my Instagram is _fifth flow, the number 5 and FLO. So that's how you get in touch with me, man. If you want to see what's going on in my life, that's what I do, brother.
There you have it, everybody. That is Reginald Ballard, actor, comedian.